This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. Well, Vince is not into blood and guts here. He's trying to expand national. That won't translate. He's trying to market younger. He's trying to target, kids and cartoons and lunch boxes and action figures, et cetera, et cetera. And that's why we're all listening to this show right now, because it worked. So he's going to have to change the sheep herders. And the new idea is, let's call them the Bushwhackers. And of course, they're going to develop a more comedic style, and they're going to involve licking each other, their opponents, fans. And they're also going to have a very distinctive march to the ring. And the vignettes begin to run about 6 weeks out. Mean Gene is on a safari and eventually comes across the Bushwhackers out in the wild. A lot to unpack here. This is December of '88 when they debut. They're in the middle of their most aggressive national expansion. Of course, on the other station, Ted Turner has just bought Jim Crockett Promotions. So now Vince is battling with a billionaire. And I think they actually make their debut the day after Christmas in '88 against the Bolsheviks. Talk to me about the name change first. How and why did we land on the name Bushwhacker?
God, I don't know if that was something Creative Services had, or if that's just something that came out of Vince's mouth one day, but I think by the time that, they got to me and let's do vignettes, they had the name and everything else. And we're really, really high on Luke and Butch and the Bushwhackers, and just explain this whole concept. I remember seeing Luke and Butch in the office when they had their initial meeting, and they were just high as a kite, positive and happy, and just like, oh my God, this ought to be a hell of a ride. So the next thing I know is, okay, now we need to do these fish out of water vignettes with these guys to introduce them and make them lovable characters. And we went to work, and the first one that was just talking about how friendly everybody in the United States is. They run into a guy on the street asking him for directions, and he gives them directions, and they both go in the opposite direction and then come back and talk about how great America is. And here's a trivia, is that the guy that was in that first vignette, giving them directions, I was actually shot right in front of 1055 Summer Street, which was our first office. And the guy was the first ever official HR person that had ever been hired by the company, Alan Frost. And then we went to town from there, man, and just did crazy shit. But I told you there's going to be the throwback to the first night that I met him. And that was, we went to the Silver Star Diner and rented a banquet room in there. And I told Vince the story about them ordering the menu. And it was like, that's great, let's do that. And so we went into Silver Star Diner to do these vignettes and basically had them do that. Yes, I'll have this. What do you mean, sir? This side of the menu. And then the other one ordered the other side of the menu and had them eat it all. And Luke was sick as a dog that day, looking at me. Oh, mate, I can't fall in. Mate, I can't eat all this. I can't do it. I said, well, you got to do it, man. I'll have a puke bucket here for you, but I need you to at least put it in. And like a trooper, he went and he ate every bit of it, and got sicker afterwards. It all came up eventually. But I just loved working with those guys because they were just so fucking easy to work with. You would give them a concept. The licking shit, that was shit they came up with on their own. Just being unorthodox. And Vince was like, it'd be great if you guys could have a march to the ring type thing. And they would take it and they would run with it and they would make it work. Whatever you gave them, they would make it work.
There we go. I like that little break there. So the whole, the arm thing, any idea where that came from?
Their march?
Yeah.
It was a little bit of what it came from them. They did it, and they kind of came up with it. You would give them, here's the difference between what the Bushwhackers did and sometimes what a a talent that thinks too much will do, is you would say, hey guys, get out there with this. We need a march. We need you to do something that people can do with you and participate with you. And the Bushwhackers would take it as far out as they possibly could, which was exactly where we wanted them to go. And you only had to you bring them back a little bit, not push them forward. A lot of times talent will just, do it a little bit or do it half-assed because they're afraid of making a fool out of themselves. Once you learn you can make a fool out of yourself and have fun with it, then everything else is easy after that. But the Bushwhackers went out. They went out over the top. They were an over-the-top attraction anyway. So all of that shit, those were things that, here's what we'd like you to do. Here's a suggestion. We need you to do this. And they would take it and run. And that is what made them so damn successful. I still have, I'm looking in there where the hell it is. I don't know where it is right now, but there was we did a shoot in a lingerie shop, a sexy lingerie shop in Stanford. I think it's still there, where they went in and were looking for, bustier, trying on bras and shit like that. And in the shop, there was an I love you pillow, silk pillow, says I love you on it. And they took it down and go, oh, hey, brother love, hey, mate. And I still have that pillow from that shoot that they slobbered all over, so I had to buy it. But it was just natural. You could put them in any situation and they would make it their own.
I love this stuff, hearing how it all came to be. What did Vince think of these vignettes when he sees them? Is this when he sees how they are with Mean Gene and what you've put together? Does he think, hey man, we're on track. This is exactly what I was hoping for. Or did he think,
damn it, Bruce, this is the best shit you've ever done. I'm going to fire you and then hire you back 2 more times. That's the way I remember it. I don't know. No, he liked him.
Talk to us about the whole licking bit.
It just, they did it to each other. And if you go back and you watch the sheep herder stuff, they kind of did, where they rubbed each other's heads and shit like that anyway.
Yeah.
They just made it fun instead of gross. So they started licking each other. They started rubbing each other's heads and shit like that. And it became, okay, who can goof on the other more and have fun with it? And people loved to rub their heads. They loved, they'd go up and have people rub their heads and, oh, hey, oh. I mean, it was great throughout the thing. And I'll tell you the one, and this goes back to the first time at the Denny's when I first met him on the first night, where I became infatuated with the way that they would say, oh, you fucking douchebag. Just the way they said it. I embraced the fucking douchebag just because the way they said it. Everybody for about the next 6 months became a fucking douchebag.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.